Hi everyone. I just wanted to sit in the sunshine outside today and have a conversation with you. And in due to the recent election results of who our new president is, I wanted to just talk about what I've been experiencing as someone who is an immigrant to this country. Um, and as someone who is of a different race, religion, cultural background, but someone who is also very much well aware that they are a spiritual being having a human experience, and that who we are is not our race, religion, culture, skin color, gender, sexuality. Who we are is spirit in physical form. But what I found myself recently feeling is fear. I went out, I think 2 days ago, and I've been really sick with the flu, so I haven't really choosing to keep up and follow all the hysteria that I'm seeing on social media and everything. I've just kind of kept myself away from it. But I stepped out the day after the election, the morning of. I had woken up at like around 6:30 in the morning, and I woke up and I was really eager to know who the new president was. And I woke up, and when I saw the results, I was crying, and I felt a little bit, my heart felt like it was a little bit broken. And a huge surge of fear set in, and panic set in, and worry and fear of my future. I mean, I'm in my later 20s, and whatever happens now is going to affect me in the future. It's going to affect my family, it's going to affect my kids and generations to come. And so it's a huge concern of mine as a younger adult in a free world. And I went out and I was just at the grocery store doing my thing, and I could just feel the energy was so somber and so low, and nobody's looking at anybody in the eye. Everybody's like just doing their thing, getting what they need to get done, and going back to their car and driving away. And there, I just felt this huge disconnect. And I found myself feeling afraid. I normally don't I've never experienced racism or discrimination of any sort ever in my life, and I'm so thankful and blessed to say that, because I do believe we live in a good world and people are good. But for for the first time, I have that fear that I may be discriminated against, or I may be a racial target, and I've never had this fear before. And I know that's not real because fear is not real. Only love is real. But I can't help but feel fear. And so my affirmation, or the mantra, or the practice that I've been really doing, is to harness love that is within me. And I just shared this tweet. It just really just downloaded and came right through me, which was, the love within me is enough to trump the fear around me. Something like that. And so the message I got very clearly is that it's easy to step into fear. It's easy to hate. It's easy to be angry. It's easy to express your frustration. It's easy to be pissed the fuck off. But it's even much more beautiful. It's much more empowering to continue to be the presence of love right now, when the world is falling into fear and it's holding so many people's hearts and minds closed off. And as I was out, just the past 2 days, the fear had just closed my heart off from wanting to connect with anyone. And I was caught in this judgment. Are they looking at me differently? Do they think I'm this? Do they think I'm that? And I was just like head down, didn't want to communicate. But that's not the world I want to live in, and that's not the message I want to give to people. As someone who's a teacher of love, someone who's a messenger of love, and someone who really just wants to be the presence of love and light in this world because that's what's so greatly needed right now, it's not a time to close our hearts off. It's not a time to fear. It's a time to empower yourselves. It's a time to unite. It's a time to have each other's back. It's a time to fucking own what's real. And with love, that's what's real. Love trumps fear. Fear cannot trump fear. Love will trump fear. And I like this quote that Einstein said, is that the energy with which the problem was created, that same energy cannot be applied to solve the problem. And so automatically when we're in fear, what we do is we will use fear as a tactic, and we will use hate to trump that fear. But that just escalates things. That just makes things worse. What if we used love? What if we realized the love within me is enough to trump the fear around me? And it's our duty, it's our right to be the presence of love right now, to be in the world that we want to be in. It begins with me, it begins with you. And to not let the election results close our minds and close our hearts and become disconnected with humanity. I mean, they're our brothers and sisters. We're all in this together. No one is better. No one is lesser than anyone. It's all in the mind. It's all what you tell yourself. It's all what you think. I always like to tell myself this is, if you close your eyes, what skin color am I? You wouldn't know. If you close your eyes, you wouldn't even know. What you would start feeling is the presence, is the energy of that person. That is what's real. That is who they are. So as we step into the love that is within us, we become these loving beings of love and light, and we give that. Our energy elevates the people around us, and we become this lighthouse. We become this presence of love. We become this being that is so rooted into their identity as a loved being. And that is what is real. So the message I have for you is, remember, the love within you is enough to trump the fear around you. And it's time to embody the love that's within you. It's time to bring out the love that's within you. It's time to give freely of the love that's within you. It's time to unite with the presence of love that is within all of us. If love is within me, it's within you. It's within every single human being on this planet. And we all have access to it if we allow ourselves to have access to it. The love within me trumps all the fear around me. And that's my mantra. That's my affirmation as I go through the next couple weeks and the next couple months. Wherever fear sets in, that's what I'm going to say to myself. The love within me is enough to trump the fear around me. And that is what is real for me. And as I do that, I become the presence of love and light in the world. I start being the person I wish existed in the world, where we are just looking at each other with love and acceptance. And we're free to be who we are without judgment. And it's an act of love to be who we are, in total acceptance and total compassionate, to hold a space for another person to be truly who they are. I hope this message serves you. Share with me in the comments what's moving for you. What are the fears that have been coming up for you? What have you been experiencing? Perhaps you want to take on this mantra, the love within me trumps the fear around me, and use that every single time you're in a head trip of fear and you're worried about if people are judging you and looking at you, and you're closing your heart off to not connecting with people and not being there for someone else because you're so worried about being judged by them. But when in fact what you're doing is you're judging them for judging you. That's not what we want, right? So share with me your mantra, your affirmation, how you're experiencing this, how you're processing this, and how you're allowing yourself to choose love over fear, because that is what is real. Only love is real. Wherever you are in the world, I wish you a miraculous day. Know that you're so worthy, you're so loved, you're so miraculous, and you're deeply, deeply, deeply of value. All my love, stay open. Bye.